Hi, Benji here, and in response to this comment, I'm going to unpack why, when describing your type, prejudice isn't a preference. People often make blanket statements about who they are and aren't attracted to and justify that as a preference when it's really prejudice. Yes, we all have preferences, and noticing patterns in who you're drawn to over time makes sense. For example, if someone asks you what your type tends to be, saying you've often been attracted to people with certain traits is an honest reflection of your experience. But when you take those patterns and use them to make sweeping judgments about the attractiveness of an entire group, or state that you could never be attracted to someone of that group, that's not a preference, it's prejudice. It's a judgment that reduces individuals to stereotypes, overlooking their unique qualities, and it's ultimately dehumanizing. There's a big difference between saying, I've tended to be attracted to certain types of people based on your experience, and saying, I'm not attracted to X group based on assumptions and biases. The impact of holding and expressing certain preferences and, of course, prejudices can vary significantly, depending on the characteristic in question in relation to broader systems of privilege in our society. For example, having a preference about whether someone does or doesn't eat meat is different to having a preference against certain races or body types. Which is why, even if you do have preferences based on experience, it's still essential to think about how, where, and when you express them. In a private conversation with a friend who has asked about your type, sharing your attraction patterns might be harmless. But expressing your preferences more publicly, like on dating profiles, can have an insensitive, exclusionary impact, especially on people from marginalized communities. Because these communities already face significant prejudice, publicly listing people from such communities as undesirable to you further contributes towards the exclusion and invalidation they're likely already experiencing. We all have preferences and we're entitled to them, even though we should be critically unpacking where our preferences come from. However, that's another video. But instead of the question being, aren't I allowed to have preferences? It actually should be, are my preferences actually just prejudice? And what impact does expressing my preferences have on others? Hope that helps. Bye.